Hey, shalom, 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 shalom. Shema Yasha, Awa Yahweh, Awa Yanawa, Yahweh, Akkad. So once again, you're now under the sounds of the voices of the true disciples of Christ. And we're your hosts, Tazadaq, Yeshaya, and Yashabun. And so before we go into these precepts, start bringing out these precepts, do either of you, Akim, have anything you want to bring out? Yeshaya, Yashabun, you got anything you want to say before we get started on this?
Shalom, shalom, shalom.
Shalom, shalom, shalom.
Yeah, let's get it.
What about you, Yashabun? Yashabun, you got anything you want to bring up before I go into these precepts? And as you come into the room, give a thumbs up, unless you're one of the debtors that already gave a thumbs down. Never ceases to amaze me how someone could thumbs down. What we have, like, Yeshua, 8 thumbs down before we said one word.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Down. Those people right there, they're in a very dark place. And I'm not mad at you. The only thing I'm going to do is, hope the Most High could actually get you out of your condition. Yashabum, you got anything before we get started? It must not be available. I want to start with this, right? Yashabum, are you there? So, I don't know if you people know, you have people protesting because they want to get back to work. They saying that, you got people saying that there's nothing. You got people like Yusef L putting out videos that he said was actually a leak, saying that, they were saying that the coronavirus is stuff. So I guess all of these deaths are just alleged deaths. That they're not real according to what these kind of people are saying, right? So you got people protesting, wanting to get back on the plantation. And I surmise those are the people that probably came and thumbs down, or someone else that's like really in a bad place right now. The only thing I can say, may the Most High bless you, man. May the Most High change you, because you people that did that, you're really in a dark place. How can you thumbs down something for actually even hearing the course? Not even heard the course. Don't even know what this is actually going to be about. So, you have people out in the street protesting, begging to get back on the plantation, wanting to get back to work. Then you got another faction of people that's, wondering when their check is coming, when their COVID-19 check is arriving in the mail. Yashabum, you got anything before we get started? Anything you would like to touch on, bring out, anything like that?
Shalom, shalom. I did, for the area that I'm at, it looks like they're trying to reopen everything really like tomorrow. All recreation areas and other businesses. So it's just weird because nothing's really changed. I mean, you got folks still falling at a steady pace, not slowing down, but at a steady pace here in the country of Georgia from COVID-19. But so we haven't even hit our peak, but they're talking about opening it up. So it's wild the way things are going. It's going to be interesting the way it turns out. Right.
So I want to say this, man. Like, a lot of you believe, hey, let's open it up. I need to get back to work, and so on and so forth, right? Meanwhile, to all of those people that want to rush back to work, right? Do any of you have family members in a nursing home in New York State? Do you guys realize out of the 615 nursing homes in New York State, 3,500 of those people has actually died? So much so that the governor had actually ordered an investigation of all of those nursing homes for fraud and for, abuse of the patients, because you got 3,500 deaths in nursing homes in New York State. Meanwhile, again, you have people out that's protesting and so on and so forth. because they want to get back to work. So I mean, what's really going on here? Like, I mean, how many of you people, Michael Ford, are one of those people that really want to get back on the plantation till you're just over broke, begging to get back? Now, this is what you don't want to consider. We have a lot of our people that's debtors. A lot of our people that don't really understand that this is the Lord is behind this, man. And so what a lot of you don't understand, man, is the Lord is going to get a lot of you jakes, man. And so this is why you don't want to come to the realization that it is more of us that's dying than them. Now, you put that in the context with the rich people that want to get you back to work. If this is still being spread, and in New York it is, it's going down, but they still had 434 deaths today. You understand? So people are still dying, not in the large numbers that they are, but it means it's still out there. And so some of you, so some of you know something's wrong. Something doesn't feel right, but you just don't know what. You can't say what, but you know something's wrong, and you're tired of living the way that you're living. You know there's something's wrong. You just can't put your hand on it. But when your mind starts to come out of the matrix, another debtor comes right along and puts you back to sleep. You go on social media, you listen to something else, and it puts you right back to sleep. Hey, speak for a minute, Yashabun or Yeshai. Speak for a minute.
Shah, you got anything you want to bring out?
Nah. I mean, I didn't. I mean, but he's right what he's saying. They tell you one thing, everybody's looking on the internet for the next thing, and now like you said, they about to open up to certain states, about to open up, which certain states never really closed down. They probably just, stop the, where you can't go in and you can't go sit in. Now, I know gyms and some of the gyms are shut down, but yeah, I mean, seems like it's all a plot.
Yeah, I don't think I can really say to that. Everyone just keep both eyes and ears open, and stay prayed up. Just watch really what's going on around you. I know in New York, got a lot of family up there, and my uncle, who was actually hospitalized prior to the outbreak, he's now on a ventilator. So, folks are just just stay prayed up. I mean, for everybody that's out there, I mean, there's a lot of other things that we can do. You just got to learn how to reinvent yourself. You know what I'm saying? Not to restrict yourself to any one area. When it comes to providing. Tazadaq say, a large portion of the folks that listen to us, they are debtors. You got to learn how to think outside the box. Because to be completely dependent on the so-called de facto will put you in a position like this, a time or two outside of a pandemic. You know what I'm saying? So I know during the time that I was serving, the government shut down just about every year between 2 to up to like 2 to 8 weeks, and government employees not getting paid because they're trying to pass some type of new stimulus bill and things like that. You just don't, and that was a bad feeling for me. So I immediately, before I even got out the service, I try to learn. I did learn a trade. So I suggest that to all the men on the sound of my voice, learn some kind of trade, do something that's inside your passion that sparks the interest. All the purchases that I make, not only are they going to, in preparation for Mashiach's return, these bug-out bags and stuff like that, but I put my dollars towards something that's going to give me some type of return, investing in myself, investing in my, interests and my talents and my, my vision. See what I'm saying? And what I see for my seed as well. That's books, any kind of other type of like supportive material. Make sure they, while YouTube is still available, subscribe to those type of channels that have to deal with producing something versus always being entertained. You should put majority of your time studying the Most High's word and also in developing your talent. And it shows for me, in my life, it shows, it makes a big difference. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah. So I mean, currently, you have some states. I want you to think about this. Georgia is talking about opening almost everything up again tomorrow, except for bars, clubs and things like that. South Carolina is talking about opening it back up. That was damn near the last damn state in the union, in the nation, to order stay at home in South Carolina. Florida, they already been letting people go back to the beaches last week. Didn't want to keep it locked down. Now, currently, we have 95% of the United States under lockdown to help spread the curb of so-called coronavirus, COVID-19. And they claim it's working. Do we really know? The only thing we could discern is the people around us. The United States corporation is seeing, according to them, a sustained decline, plateau of new cases, right? Now, there's already, like Yasha Bumasan in the state that he's in talks about reviving the so-called economic pain that was brought about as a result of the lockdown, the shelter in place, the stay-at-home orders. So, but opening this economy is looking a little different in every state, right? It should be done in phrases, right? It should be done in phrases where they're like, well, these people go out. Let's see how many people get affected, how many more people dying. But you have 3 multi-state coalitions that have actually been formed, right? And the Northeast, the West, and the Midwest to so-called coordinate measures to reopen their economies. But they have not yet made a concrete plan. Now, that's because these reopening plans are dependent upon various factors, right? Like controlling the rate of infections, controlling the rate of hospitalizations, making so-called testing, and contact tracing more widespread, making sure health care facilities are properly equipped with ventilators and other resurgence, right? And then employing the so-called social distancing practicing in the workplace. How are you going to perform in some workplace if you're performing social distancing? Yeah, you work in a damn workplace. Some people are not even located so-called 6 feet apart. Now, again, despite all of this, you have several reopening plans. People that's actually been laid off, right? And Trump himself, he's laid out, by this so-called Trump administration and by researchers with John Hopkins Center for Health Security said that the state should be declining the numbers of new cases for at least 2 weeks before reopening anything. Georgians don't seem to be listening to that. South Carolina doesn't seem to be listening to that. Florida doesn't seem to listen to that. So it's a threshold that no state has actually hit yet, right? But these 3 states that I mentioned, are starting to allow people to go back in the workplace as if everything's normal. Now, I want you to put that in the context with who they say was dying most. It was so-called blacks, right? So if the rich are sending you back to work and they're overcoming it on a larger scale than us, then what should that tell you? There's some states, again, that's already making moves to begin reopening parts of their economics, right? Georgia, one of the main ones. They damn near opening everything, right? Even as more Americans are dying from COVID-19 per week, they still say we're going to open it up. So deep down within inside, family, Joe Vet, John Doe, deep down inside, a lot of you under the sounds of our voice right now, you know that something's wrong. You know that something's wrong with this world. Hell, you got Chinese showing you how racist they are. Don't call me a racist. I'm speaking the truth. They're showing you how racist they are. They're over there attacking Africans, man. Evicting them. Won't let them rent. Won't serve them in restaurants. So you got many people in the United States corporation that don't even want some of you blacks in their businesses. Now, deep down inside, many of you, something's not right about this world. Something's wrong. Something's wrong with this kingdom, with this world. You know things are off. And so deep down inside, you said, man, I'm tired of this, man. I'm tired of this. What is the Lord waiting on to return? You said, I'm tired of this. And if that's you, if any of you are having these kind of thoughts, Marty Marr, Delat Walker, Job Vet, if any of you are having these kind of thoughts, you really need to listen to this message tonight. I really want you to focus on tonight's show, right? You really need to listen to these precepts because we're going to be touching on some of these things because this world is wicked. This is a wicked world. We're going to be touching on some of these things and what the Lord wants us to do today. So with that, can someone get the book of Isaiah chapter 60, verse 1? We're going to touch on some of these things. You know something's wrong, but you don't know what. Can't put your finger on it. You know things are wicked. Isaiah chapter 60, verse 1.
It's the book of Isaiah chapter 60, verse 1. Arise, shine, for thy light is come, and the glory of the Lord is risen upon thee.
Scriptures say, arise and shine, for their light is come. The light here is talking about the light from Hamashiach Yahushua. The light is you having the ability to understand these precepts. This is why the Lord has actually raised up men like Yeshaya, Yashabim, and Tazadaq on this call and have you on this call right now so that you could actually receive the light. The light or the leaders that give you a clear understanding that the Lord wants you to understand what's being set up in this earth so that you can understand these scriptures that the Lord sent Yashabim, Yeshaya, Tazadaq, and everyone else out there that's giving you a clear understanding of these scriptures. Because the churches are not doing this to you, man. The churches will pacify you and put you back to sleep. And I'm going to tell you something, man. You can't be free getting government benefits. You can never be a free man or a free woman, Sean, getting government benefits, getting stimulus checks. You can never be free. Read on.
Verse 2, for behold, the darkness shall cover the earth, and gross darkness the people. But the Lord
it says gross darkness shall cover the people. For darkness shall cover the earth, and gross darkness the people. What is gross darkness? That is absolute ignorance. The people don't know what to look for. So they go into social media and looking for a solution. And they pick that up and they run with it. And they come up with all kind of allegations that they say is killing the people. Listening to Ike, what's this guy named David Ike, and all these other conspiracy theories. That's gross darkness. You got to put your trust in the Lord. That is gross darkness. You know what gross darkness is? That means absolute darkness. You know, like when you're working in the system, Yashabun, and they give you a pay stub, and you look at your pay stub, and on your pay stub it lists your gross income before they take anything out. That means that's your total income. So gross darkness is absolute darkness. And so the prophet Isaiah said gross darkness will cover the people. You know.
But the Lord shall arise upon thee, and his glory shall be seen upon thee.
So only the true adepts, only the true disciples of Christ is the spirit of the Lord is going to rise upon. Everyone else is going to be in gross darkness. And how do you know if you're a true disciple? You're going to be turning to the scriptures to understand what's going on. You're not going to put your trust in man. You're not going to put your trust in David Icke. You're not going to put your trust in a 5G theory. You understand? You're going to put your trust in the Most High. You understand? From there, let's go to the book of 2nd Esdras and the Holy Apocrypha, chapter 5, and let's start reading at verse 1. So gross darkness will cover the people. The people are in gross darkness. The people are in gross darkness right now. They don't know what to believe. They can't see that going back into society, if something is in fact killing us, and something is, that could be putting more people at risk. That could be putting more people at risk. If not you, it might be putting one of your family members at risk if you're simply a carrier. But gross darkness is covering the people. You got some people that saying this, it doesn't exist. You got people like Yusuf L saying it's a hoax. It was made up because he said he got a leak, a video leak. That's gross darkness. So explain to me why you suddenly had 3,500 people, 3,500 people die in nursing homes. Nursing homes are under investigation in New York State. People just dying. How they get it? No one explain to me how they get it. No one was allowed to visit the nursing homes. How did so many people die in New York State in nursing homes? Because gross darkness is covering the people. Complete ignorance.
Book of 2nd Esdras, chapter 5, verse 1. Nevertheless, as concerning the tokens, behold, the day shall come that they which dwell upon the earth shall be taken in a great number.
So the Lord says to Esdras, nevertheless, concerning the signs, tokens are signs of the things that the Lord allows to happen before he returns. So Esdras says concerning the signs, concerning the tokens, behold, the day shall come when they which dwell upon the earth shall be taken in great numbers. All of you Israelites, all of you people that refer to yourself as believers, and you're taking on different philosophies like Buddhism, Baptist, Seventh-day Adventist, Catholic, Muslim, Egyptologies, all of these are you being taken in great numbers because you're not hearing the truth. You've been taken in great numbers by all of these different philosophies. You're being taken in great numbers. The Lord never gave us religion. I challenge any of you that believe in the Bible, John Doe, any of you that say that you believe in the Bible, go in the Bible and show me one place where it says the Lord gave us a religion, a united, Yasha Allah. One place. Show me one place in the Bible where the Lord gave us religion. You can't do it. It's not there. So you're being taken with philosophies in great numbers. There's more people in Christianity on this earth, which is a religion, than any other so-called religion, taken in great numbers. And they swear it's the truth. They swear it's the truth. Read on.
And the way of the truth shall be hidden.
And the what?
The way of the truth shall be hidden.
And the what?
The way of the truth shall be hidden.
So these people that's coming on social media, they're not giving you the truth. The way of the truth is hidden from you. Why? Because Isaiah told you gross darkness will cover the people. The people think they run into the truth. The way of the truth is hidden from you. Why? Because the spirit of the Lord is not on you. You're not following the Lord. Read on.
And the land shall be barren of faith.
The people don't have any faith. You know why? It shows. You know what they're saying? Please, 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 de facto. Please, Daddy Trump. We need, please take this thing off. We need to get back to work. Please, Daddy Trump. Please, Daddy de facto. I need a stimulus check. Stimulate me. I need a stimulus check. The way of the truth. You don't have faith. Your faith, the faith is barren in the land. You're putting your trust in man. You're putting your trust in a de facto. And guess what? You can't be free people if you keep taking benefits. You cannot be a free people accepting governmental benefits. Understand that. From there, let's go to the book of Romans 10 and 17, man. Book of Romans chapter 10, verse 17. And we're going to give you a chance to speak after this, to give your, your view, your opinion, after we bring out these precepts and set the stage for things.
So the book of Romans chapter 10, verse 17. So then faith cometh by hearing, and hearing by the word of Yahweh.
Come on. So this is why the Lord has set up shows like this right here that you're listening to under the true disciples of Christ, so that you could actually hear the true word of Yahweh, why Yahweh Shah. That's how you build up your faith, by hearing, and hearing by the word of Yah. So you got to hear this word, man. You don't get faith by going listening to David Icke. You don't get faith by going listening to Yusuf L. They're not coming through the spirit of the Lord. You don't get faith by going listening to social medias and genuine fear into you. You don't get faith like that. Let's go back to second Esdras again, Yashabun. 5. We're going to read verse 1 again. Start from the top, verse 1. Second Esdras chapter 5, verse 1.
Book of second Esdras chapter 5, verse 1. Nevertheless, as concerning the tokens, behold, the day shall come that they which dwell upon the earth shall be taken in great number.
That's what's going on right now, man. You're taking in great numbers. A lot of people are dying. These are the signs of the time. When the disciples was talking to Mashiach in the book of Matthew, he said, Lord, what will be the signs of your second coming? He's giving you the signs right now. You're ignoring it. You want to say it doesn't exist. You want to say the coronavirus doesn't exist. You want to say this is not real. You want to put all kind of theories on it. You're missing the tokens, which are the signs. And so you're taken in great numbers by all these philosophies. You're taken by 5G theories and all of this. Read on.
And the way of the truth shall be hidden, and the land shall be barren of faith. Verse 2. But iniquity shall increase, and above that which now thou seest, or that has heard long ago.
But wickedness shall increase, but sin shall increase. It shall increase above what was going on even in that time. But iniquity shall be increased above which now thou seest. So it gets worse. It gets worse. It gets worse. Iniquity is people sending people back to work, even though people are still dying. So it's okay. It's okay. Don't worry about it. Iniquity is increasing. So let's have a look at some of the current events, right? I was reading Daily News, right? And it said that many of the same states that was last to issue a stay-at-home orders, and they did so in April, after many states had already done it in March, like Georgia, like South Carolina, like Florida. They didn't issue stay-at-home orders until April. We're still in April. Other states did it back in March. Now, I'm going to talk about 3 of the states that's already beginning to reopen their economies the same month that they shut them down. Let's look at what these governors are doing. Let's look at what the Lord is saying in the book of 2nd Esdras, the 5th chapter, verse 2. But iniquity shall be increased. Iniquity shall be increased. So on Friday, right? Last Friday, Florida's governor, Ron DeSantis, he allowed beaches to reopen in northern Florida. You understand? Even though the state has continued to see an increase in coronavirus cases. Why did he do that? Read it again, Yashaba. What does it say? 2nd Esdras 5 and 2.
2nd Esdras chapter 5 verse 2. But iniquity shall be increased.
Oh, that's why he's doing it. That's why he's doing it. That's why he opened up the beaches, even though more people are dying there. That's why he's doing it. Even though he sees an increase in coronavirus cases. DeSantis has initially left it up to the local officials to close their beaches and their establishments, receiving backlash from crowded beaches, swarming. So he finally issued a statewide stay-at-home order on April the 1st, right? Now, he just issued an order on April the 1st. And since then, he's deemed that the WWE Performance Center in Orlando to be an essential business. It has refused to ban church services. Who's dying? Who's dying? It's rhetorical. I don't want you to answer it. Who's dying? Who's dying the most? It's a rhetorical question. So in a Friday press conference, he said that some counties could start reopening their beaches if they wanted to, adding that it was important for people to get fresh air. So you got to go to a beach to get fresh air? Yeshaya? You can't just go outside of your house? You got to go to a beach around a crowd of people?
No.
Then he says, do it in a good way. He said, do it in a safe way, whatever the hell that means. So according to this, governor, gatherings of 50 or more people are still banned. And people are actually encouraged to socially distance on beaches as they exercise or do their activities like surfing. You understand? This didn't come from me. This came from the Business Insider, right? But photos for the weekend showed hundreds of local people flooding Jacksonville's beach. The governor said nothing about it. Why? Who's dying? They wasn't practicing social distancing. Let's go to South Carolina. You got Governor Henry McMaster. Hell of a name, isn't it? McMaster. He was one of the last in this so-called nation, right, to issue a statewide stay-at-home order from all states who've actually issued the order. He ended up issuing his April the 7th. Now, on Monday, this man said that department stores and some other businesses previously deemed non-essential will be allowed to be reopened if they abided by the social distancing guidelines. That includes clothing stores, furniture stores. Oh, yeah, that's really essential, huh? Florist shops, flower shops, huh? Really? It's not according to me. It's according to the Bates for Time, right? Public beaches also open in South Carolina. They open back up on Tuesday. And this man said, I quote, "We're still in very serious situations. We must be sure that we continue to be strict and disciplined with our social distancing." End of quote. So this Governor McMaster said in a press conference, quote, Our goal was to cause the most damage possible to the virus while doing the least possible damage to our business. South Carolina businesses is business. End of quote. That's in South Carolina. Take it over to where Yashabum is. The governor of Georgia, Brian Kemp. He said he will allow businesses to begin reopening Friday. He said that in a conference Monday. Gyms. Now this man is going to the extreme. He said gyms, hair salons, barber shops, fitness centers, massage therapy centers will be allowed to reopen Friday as long as they follow the social distance and regular sanitation. I want you to think about how dumb that is, right? How in the hell can you practice social distance in a massage parlor? What are you going to do, massaging with a damn 10-foot pole or something? 6 feet pole? How can you practice that in a massage parlor, right? How you going to practice that in a gym? Come on, man. These people, I don't think they really care about you, man. It should become abundantly clear that something's wrong. Again, I raised the question, Sean, who's dying? Who's dying? Why are they reopening this? Who's dying? It's rhetorical. It's rhetorical. So he's saying, you know, restaurants, private social clubs, movie theaters can all open. Bowling alleys. The only thing he said, bars and nightclubs, amusement parks, and other businesses will remain closed pending further advice from the public health experts. And he didn't really give, this guy, Kemp, he didn't give specific detail, but he said that businesses should adhere to the minimum basic operations. And so he went on to say that Georgia's rate of new infections had flattened. And I quote, he said, "We appreciate the leadership and share in the desire to reopen the economy and get Americans back to work." End of quote. So in response to the backlash from the state's reopening decision, this guy told Fox News that it's a tough balance. And he understood both those who agreed and disagreed with it. We are talking about a few businesses that I closed down to help flatten the curve, which we have done in our state, end of quote. But for us to continue to ask them to do that while they're losing everything, quite honestly, there's a lot of civil repercussion of that. Mental health issues. This is what this guy Kemp is saying. We're seeing more patients in our trauma centers in our state. So basically he's saying, because you can't work, you're losing your damn mind. They're saying that mental health is going up. And keep in mind that this guy, Yashabum over there where you are, they didn't even issue a stay-at-home order, state order, until April the 3rd. So, what you had, like maybe 3 weeks at this?
Yeah, they shut the schools down on the 15th, but there was no statewide stay-at-home order until after the 31st of March. So even though everybody
that didn't happen until April the 3rd.
Con.
According to this reporter, it happened on April the 3rd. That was one of the states that didn't issue a statewide order until in April.
And this is the conflicting, the jacked up part. They shut down the schools, but they still had people that had to go to work because there was no stay-at-home order for 2 weeks before they actually issued it on April the 3rd. So, yeah, it's messed up.
Con. Let's go back to Second Edges, chapter 5 and 2. So you people know that something's wrong. And I asked you, Des Stokes, what do they really think about you? Who's dying? Miracles happening. We'll see. Well, we'll see what happenens when these people go back to work. We'll see if more people get infected. I'll remain silent now. We'll see if this is beneficial. If there's suddenly an influx in people that die in Georgia, you already have your answer. You already have your answer. In South Carolina, you already have your answer. And keep in mind, South Carolina was one of those states that you Jakes was dying way more. North Carolina also. Second Edges chapter 5, verse 2.
Second Ezra chapter 5, verse 2. But iniquity shall be increased above that which now thou seest, or that thou hast heard long ago.
So iniquity is increasing. Case in point, man. You have a lot of women that's actually been placed head of a religious organization. In this world, it's okay. When you speak out against it, you're wrong. Get on 1 Timothy 2 and 11. You got a lot of women that's been going around on social media, teaching men, telling men this is what it is. You got men that's allowing this. And guess what? These men and these women swear that they're coming through the Spirit of Christ. The Lord has actually set up an order in this earth, man. We can't pretend this doesn't exist, despite what your government says. The Lord has established an order in this earth. Read what you got. 2 Timothy 2 and 11.
Book of 2 Timothy chapter 2, verse 11. It is a faithful saying. For if
No, that's not 2 Timothy 2 and 11. 2 Timothy 2 and 11.
The book of 2 Timothy chapter 2, verse 11.
Go on.
Yeah,
That's not my bad. My bad. Yashabun. I wanted 1 Timothy 2 and 11. My bad.
God. 1 Timothy chapter 2, verse 11. Let the woman learn in silence with all subjection.
Stop. Why is the Lord saying this? Let the woman learn in silence with all subjection. That means submission. Let the woman learn in silence with all subjection. Why is he saying that? Real quick, Yeshaya, get me Ezekiel 34, verse 30. Hold on to that, Yashaban. We're not done with that. But we're going to see what the Lord said, let the woman learn in silence with all subjection. Is this not saying that the woman's supposed to have a covering? Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Why is Anita bombing running the church, heading over a church? Why you got sisters that's coming online and in these churches ruling over men? The Lord set up an order in this earth. Sisters may not like this, but I beg you to listen, because this message is coming from the Lord.
This book of Ezekiel chapter 34, verse 30. Verse 30. Thus shall they know that I, the Lord, their God, am with them, and that they, even the house of Israel, are my people, saith the Lord God.
Read on.
And ye, my flock of my pasture, are men.
Are what?
Are men.
Are what?
Are men.
Okay, read on.
And I am your God, saith the Lord God.
So we can see the Lord said the flock of his pasture are men. This is why the Lord said, I suffer. Go back to what you got, Yashabam. Read that now. Read it again from the top.
Con. 1 Timothy chapter 2, verse 11. Let the woman learn in silence with all subjection.
Read on.
But I suffer not a woman to teach, nor to usurp authority over the man.
So what Yeshaya read, that's why the Lord says, I suffer not a woman to teach. The Lord is dealing with a divine order that he set up in this earth. The Lord is dealing with a divine order that he set up in this earth. And the order is God the Father, God the Son, man, and then woman. Let's get that order. 1 Corinthians 11, verse 3. So this is why the Lord said, I suffer not a woman to teach. I suffer not a woman to teach. Here we go. This guy, Moshe coming in the room talking about Deborah. Why does a debtor always bring up Deborah when we pull up these precepts? How many Deborahs do you see in the Bible, first of all, brother? And if you know anything about biblical history, the time that Deborah was talking to the men, there was no leaders in Israel. Deborah was one of the judges when no men would actually speak up or even go out. You understand? She had to talk to the men and tell them, hey, you got to go to war. You're a man. This is what you're supposed to do. So she prophesied to him from under the tree. Understandeth what thy readest, Moshe. Bring that out.
Con. Look at 1 Corinthians chapter 11, verse 3. But I will have you know that the head of every man is Yahweh Shah, and the head of the woman is the man.
Is the what?
And the head of the woman is the man.
Did you hear that, Moshe? The head of the woman is the man. Read.
And the head of Yahweh Shah is Yahweh.
And the head of Yahweh Shah is Yahweh. So that's the order. That's a divine order that the Lord has set up in this earth. This is why the Lord said, I suffer not a woman to teach. Let's go back. I'll show you why Moshe is putting in what he's putting in. Let's go back to 2nd Esdras 5 and 2. I'll show you why he's putting it in there. Because they'll look, you know what they'll do? They'll go to one precept. They're trying to go and pull the Deborah, and the Lord gives you hundreds of precepts. Oh, women don't teach. Women don't teach over man. There's an order. The flock of my pasture of men. They'll go to that one thing and try and pull back. They'll try and pull back, man. It has to be precept upon precept, not one scripture. Precept upon precept, line upon line. Going to try and pull Deborah up and not even understanding why and the relevance of the time is not precept upon precept. Understanding what thy readest, like they told the Ethiopian. Understanding what thy readest, Moshe? Okay, bring it up. 2nd Esdras 5 and 2.
Book of 2nd Esdras, chapter 5, verse 2. But iniquity shall be increased above that which now thou seest, or that thou hast heard long ago.
This is why we got women leading men right here. And you got men, you got simps that cater to it. So you got simps that'll come on and act as a defense attorney. And this guy, he said he wanted to be part of the Tazadaq assembly. Not with that vibration, you can't. Not with that vibration. We're not, there's no simp men welcome into Tazadaq, man. No. We can't have that vibration, man. You can't bring that around other men. You put that spirit on men. Then you'll have men thinking that it's okay for a woman to rule over them, man. That's not the order that the Lord has actually set up in this earth. So, yeah, go ahead.
Verse 3.
No, that was it. That was it. I thought you were saying something.
Oh,
all right.
I appreciate it.
Yeah, bring it up.
There's a book of Numbers, chapter 27, verse 16. Let the Lord, the God of the spirits of all flesh, set a man over the congregation.
Read it again.
And the Lord, the God of the spirits of all flesh, set a man over the congregation.
Set a man over the congregation. Why did you say that, Moshe? Well, why not set Deborah or a woman over the congregation? Because at the time that Deborah was a judge, there was no men strong enough to rule. Go and do some history on that, man. Understand is what thy readers. Go and do some history, man, before you put your foot in your mouth, man. Now, I don't know if you people have been paying attention to what's going on. Oh, he said he agreed. I thought he was bringing up Deborah. My bag, Moshe, because a lot of people, they pulled back and they said, well, Deborah, she taught him. There was no rulers. There was no men strong enough to rule at that time. When you read the history around Deborah, or Deborah, whatever you want to call it, right? Now, check this out. I don't know if you've been paying attention, but there's an all-out assault on African people living in, Uganda, over in China, right? In recent weeks, in videos, Chinese police has actually been seen rounding up Africans, forcing them out of their homes and hotels and putting them out on the streets. You understand? Putting them out on the street in a backlash against those most likely to be carriers and transmitters of the coronavirus. Don't you know Chinese are saying right now, Africans and so-called Black Americans are responsible for the coronavirus? That's what they're saying. But they tried the blues when Trump was calling it the Wuhan virus or the the Chinese virus. So the local authorities over there were unconcerned with the potential accusations of racism. They didn't care. And so the concerns only came at a national level. In other words, they didn't care, the locals. So dozens of African countries began protesting China's treatment of the African people over in China. And so many Africans have had their own experience with racism in China over the years. So now it's been revived. It's been revived. One African guy said that an elevator, he was in an elevator at a 5-star hotel in China, in Beijing, right? It was full of guests, including a tall black man. So it stops on the floor on its way down to the lobby. The door opens and a Chinese woman is waiting to get on. She takes one look at the African man, opens her mouth in shock, and then she shoos the elevator operator to go on. I don't want to get on with the black guy. And so the African man said he could only laugh. And so there's a program essentially connecting Chinese high school students to American faith-based schools and families. I don't know if you guys know about this, but that will host them hundreds of potential applicants, right? And so a majority of these applicants has now requested that their child not be sent to live with a black family in America. Their applications got denied because placing their students with a non-black family would have actually seemed to granted them the racial justice that they wanted. So Chinese, you always knew that they was very racist against you. Now they're showing it. Now they're blaming you for the Wuhan virus. You understand? From there, let's go to the book of Matthew, chapter 24 and 3. Let's look at some of these tokens. And again, Moshe, forgive me, I thought you was bringing up Deborah like a lot of people bring her up and say, well, Deborah taught. So Eve should be teaching men. Okay. Forgive me. Matthew 24 and 3. Let's look at some of these tokens.
Matthew chapter 24, verse 3. And as he sat upon the Mount of Olives, the disciples came unto him privately, saying,
Yeah, you got a 16:11. In the regular 16, it says olives. But go ahead.
The disciples came unto him privately, saying, Tell us, when shall these things be? And what shall be the sign of thy coming and of the end of the world?
Right, Khan. So the disciples came to Hamashiach and said they wanted tokens, meaning signs. They wanted signs of the end of the world. They wanted tokens of the end of the world. What is these signs? What should we look for? Jump down to verse 11.
Verse 11, Matthew 24, verse 11. And many false prophets shall rise and shall deceive many.
So you got false prophets rising up all over, man. And they deceive many. You got a lot of Israelite false prophets. Rakar from GOCC, he's a false prophet. He tell Israelites not to wear fringes when they go out. So Esau won't know who they are. He's a false prophet. There's been rumors, I don't want to put it out there, but there's been rumors about him dealing with Edomites. False prophet. Intermarrying. He's a false prophet. They're attending his feast days, right? You got Zabar, he's another false prophet. He commits adultery with another man's wife. These are false prophets. You got a lot of men out here. They marry 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 wives and won't take care of none of them. They get the women to take care of them, the wives to take care of them. False prophets won't take care of their family. Read on.
Verse 12, and because iniquity shall abound, the love of many shall wax cold.
So the love of many is waxing cold. There used to be a time, man, that if a person wanted to get to another state, they would hitchhike. I heard tales of that, man. That you could hitchhike, someone would be a good Samaritan and pick you up. People won't do that anymore. They can't even trust you. You try and pick up a hitchhiker, they're trying to rob you, man, trying to kill you. Because the love of many has waxed cold. You'll see your brother that needs something, right? Your brother's struggling, you'll turn your head. You know he's calling for something, you won't even pick up the phone. You'll look your brother in the eye and he asks you for something and you'll lie and say you won't have it. Why? Because the love of many shall wax cold. See, this is one of the tokens that the Lord said that we would see. And we see this every day, man. Every day. From there, let's go to first Salakia, 2 Timothy chapter 3, verse 1. 2 Timothy chapter 3, verse 1. You still on here, General Yashuba?
Khan, book of 2 Timothy, chapter 3, verse 1. This know also, that in the last days perilous times shall come.
So Timothy says in the last days, these are the tokens. These are the signs that we're supposed to look for. Perilous times. Read on.
For men shall be lovers of their own selves.
Yeah, it's all about you. Me. Me. Look at me. Look how good I could do this. Look how good I could do that. You're not concerned about your brother. It's all about you. Look at you. See, I read that precept, brother. Everyone wants to get on YouTube for show. Want to get hits. It's not about salvation. It's all about focusing on you. Lovers of themselves. Read on.
Covetous.
Envious of your brother. Envious of your brother. Your brother might have something the Lord didn't bless you with. You're envious of it. Read.
Boasters.
Look at me. I'm fine, girl. She's just jealous because her booty's not big like mine. Boasters, man. They're boasting about themselves, boasting how good they look and so on and so forth, boasting about how good their house look. Read on.
Proud.
Can't nobody do this like me. You're a proud man. Come on. Bring it out. You're a proud man. You're proud, man. You don't care about your brother. It's all about you. You want all the focus on you. Read.
Blasphemers.
Yeah, you blaspheme the name of the Most High. You blaspheme the name of the Most High by saying, you are, I am, Ahaya. Every time you say that, you blaspheme the name of the Most High. Because you calling yourself the Most High. Ahaya, then you call it Hamashiach, Isaiah, Yeshaya. You blaspheme in the name of the Most High. Read.
Disobedient to parents.
Children won't listen to their parents. Read.
Unthankful.
You won't even thank your brother or your sister if they do something for you. You won't even thank them if they do something for you. You're unthankful. Some of you, you sit down to the damn table. The Lord bless you with food. Some people right now don't know how they're going to eat. So you'll sit down, you're gluttonous, and you don't even thank the Most High for your food, man. You don't even bless the food. You don't even thank you. You don't even thank the Most High for giving you that food.
Unholy.
You're not set apart. You're not set apart, man. You're not set apart. You're just like everyone else. Read.
Without natural affection. True.
You know, that goes into the alternative lifestyles and all of that.
God.
You don't have natural affections anymore. But receive this message, Eliezer, man. You better stay close, man. Better keep the spirit on you, man. I'm warning you, brother. Don't fall out of this truth, man. Not in this time, brother Eliezer. Go ahead, read up.
Truce breakers. False.
You don't even keep your word. You won't even keep your word. You understand? You won't even keep your words, man. Truce breakers. Accusing someone falsely. False accusing. Tazadaq, he called me this.
Incontent. Fierce.
Fierce. Fierce. Let's look at that one. You know what fierce means? The way that's used here? That means a demonic spirit. Fierce is a demonic spirit. A severe mood disorder. What they call multiple personalities. Right? Borderline personality disorder. Fierce. Right? You're fierce.
9 o'clock.
You got an unclean spirit on you. Let's get that. Hold that right there. Let's get Matthew 8:28. What is this fierce talking about? Well, when demons was cast out of a man, devils was in him, he was considered to be fierce. That means to be possessed with demons. You understand?
Con, Matthew 8. Oh, you got it?
Yeah, and Eleazar from Cali, we talking about the Eleazar that's in Tazadaq, not you.
Oh, I didn't even know Eleazar from Cali was on the phone.
Yeah. There's a book of Matthew, chapter 8, verse 28. And when he was come to the other side, into the country of the Gergesenes, there met him two possessed with devils.
See that? Read on.
Coming out of the tombs, exceeding fierce.
See that? And so when you're possessed with devils, you're fierce. You're exceedingly fierce. You're possessed with devils, man. Fierce. Meaning you got demonic spirits on you, man. Multiple personalities. One moment you're this way, your damn personality changed. People don't even understand what happened. Fierce.
I believe they call that schizophrenia.
Yeah, come on.
So that no man might pass by that way.
So that no man might pass by that way. So he's fierce. So let's go back to that, Yashuba.
Fierce, despisers of those that are good, traitors, heady, high-minded, lovers of pleasures more than lovers of Yahweh.
They love this world, man. They love the material things in this world. That's why they begging to get back to work, man. They can't live off a little bit of substance, man. They're not used to that. They're begging to get back to work. Read.
Having a form of godliness, but denying the power thereof. From such turn away.
So the Lord told us to turn away from these kind of people. They turn away from these kind of people. Now, let's go to 2 Peter 3, verse 3. Let's read that third verse again.
Book of 2 Peter, chapter 3, verse 3. Knowing this first, that there shall come in the last days scoffers, walking after their own lusts.
So a lot of brothers and sisters out here, they have negative spirits on them. They're and this is what Peter prophesies, right? They have negative spirits on them. Read.
And saying, where is the promise of his coming?
Right. So they say, well, this is not going to happen. Well, when is your Christ going to turn? Egyptologists say that to us all the time. You really think that Jesus is going to come from the sky and so on and so forth? They don't call him Hamashiach. They say Jesus. Okay, we'll see. Let's go to 1 John 5. Finish that out. Let's get 1 John 5 and 19.
For since the fathers fell asleep, all things continue as they were from the beginning of the creation.
Come on. 1 John 5, verse 19.
Book of 1 John, chapter 5, verse 19. And we know that we are of Yahweh, and the whole world lieth in wickedness.
So we know that we're the Most High. We know that we're the Most High, and most of you that don't believe in the Most High, guess what? You're living in wickedness. This is why the Lord is raising up Akim, as you see right now on this channel, to teach you the truth, because the whole world is lying in wickedness. You're following wickedness, but we know that we're of Yahweh by Yahweh Shah. We know that we're of Yahweh by Yahweh Shah, but the majority of the world is lying in wickedness. From there, let's go to Psalms 37, verse 34. So we got to wait on the Lord, man. You got to be patient. I'm telling you, man, Eliezer, don't fall out of this truth. Don't fall out of this truth. None of you brothers and sisters under the sounds of our voice, you got to be patient. I know you're tired. I know you hate the way things are going, but you have to be patient. I know you don't like the way this world is going. You sense something's wrong, but you got to be patient.
Psalms 37, verse 34. Wait on the Lord and keep his way, and he shall exalt thee to inherit the land.
So if you be patient, The Lord is going to raise you up. The Lord is going to exhort you. So what you got to do, you got to keep his way, meaning keep these laws, statutes, and commandments. And he will exhort thee in the end. Right? Read on.
When the wicked are cut off.
When the wicked are what?
See it.
When the wicked are what?
When the wicked are cut off.
So the wicked is going to be cut off. The people that you see that's glamorizing everything that's going on now, they're going to be cut off. Read on.
Thou shalt see it.
And you're going to see it with your own eyes. Read.
I have seen the wicked in great power.
They're in great power right now. They're in great power right now. Stay inside. Shelter in place. Stay at home order. They're in great power right now, Roscoe. The wicked is in great power right now, Roscoe. You got to stay inside, man. They're telling you what to do. The debtors are begging for stimulus checks. The debtors are protesting to get back on the just over broke that they call a jaw. Why? Because the wicked is in power. Read on.
And spreading himself like a green bay tree.
A green bay tree. Anyone knows what a green bay tree is? That means that tree takes up a large area. So the wicked is spreading themselves like a green bay tree, taking up a large area on this earth. Read on.
Yet he passed away, and lo, he was not. Yea, I sought him, but he could not be found.
Come on. You're not going to be able to find that wicked man when his judgment comes down. Read on.
Mark the perfect man, and behold the upright.
The Lord's going to put a mark on the perfect man and the upright man. Read.
For the end of that man is peace.
So the end of you, those of you that be patient, those of you that stand fast, those of you that don't fall out of this truth, the end of you is peace, right? That's the end for you. Salvation. You know.
But the transgressors.
But the what? But the what?
The transgressors.
But the what?
Transgressors.
Those of you that goes against these laws, statutes, and commandments. Read.
Shall be destroyed together.
Shall be destroyed together. Read.
The end of the wicked shall be cut off.
The end of the wicked shall be cut off. Read on.
But the salvation of the righteous is of the Lord.
You gotta have patience. You gotta have patience. Don't fall out of this truth. Read.
He is their strength in the time of trouble.
So you shouldn't be turning to a stimulus check. You shouldn't be turning to a de facto. You should be turning to the Lord in times of trouble. The Lord is your strength if you're a true believer. Let's jump up to verse 1. Psalms 37:1.
Psalms chapter 37, verse 1. Fret not thyself because of evildoers.
Fret not thyself because of evildoers. Read.
Neither be thou envious against the workers of iniquity.
Oh, you don't hate them, man, because they have something that you don't have. Don't be envious against them, Roscoe. Read on.
For they shall soon be cut down like the grass.
They shall what?
For they shall soon be cut down like the grass.
So this is coming to pass, man. The Lord said the wicked is going to be cut down like the grass. And I'm telling you something, man. There's a lot of wicked jakes that's being cut down, man. There's a lot of wicked jakes being cut down right now that you see dying. Read.
And wither as the green herb.
And wither as a green herb. Let's get Isaiah chapter 40, verse 7. What do you mean cut down like the grass? Let's get Isaiah 40:7.
Isaiah chapter 40, verse 7. The grass withereth, the flower fadeth, because the Spirit of the Lord bloweth upon it. Surely the people is grass.
So you're like grass. Just like the grass withers away and die, and a flower faded. You know what? When something's about to die, it starts fading. Leaves start changing their colors. Then it withers away and die. And so the Lord says through Isaiah, surely the people is grass. So you're going to wither away. The wicked people is going to wither away just like the grass. Read on.
Verse 8. The grass withereth, the flower fadeth, but the word of our power shall stand forever.
So the word of the Lord is going to stand forever. The word of the Lord is going to stand forever. No such thing as an Old Testament. The word of the Lord is never outdated. You understand? The word of the Lord stand forever. Yashabun, let's go back to Psalms 37, read verse 2.
Got you. Psalms 37, verse 2. For they shall soon be cut down like the grass and wither as the green herb.
So if you want to make it out of this, Brother Eliezer, Brother Roscoe, right? If you want to make it out of this, you have to trust in the Lord and do good. Then you'll be all right when you put some works behind that faith. You must commit to the Lord and his laws. Go back to verse 1.
Fret not thyself because of evildoers, neither be thou envious against the workers of iniquity.
Don't be envious of these people. Read on.
For they shall soon be cut down like the grass
Read.
and wither as the green herb. Trust in the Lord and do good. So shalt thou dwell in the land, and verily thou shalt be fed.
Read on.
Delight thyself also in the Lord.
So you got to delight in the Lord. You got to trust in the Lord. Read.
And he shall give thee the desires of thine heart.
You got to have faith. You got to have works. And the Most High give you the desires of your heart. Read on.
Commit thy way unto the Lord.
You got to commit to the Lord, man. You can't commit to this world, man. You got to commit to the Lord, Roscoe. We can't just talk about it. We got to live that out, right and exact. Read.
Trust also in him, and he shall bring it to pass.
If you pray to the Most High and you have faith and you put works behind that faith, the Lord's going to bring to pass what you want. Read.
And he shall bring forth thy righteousness as the light, and thy judgment as the noonday.
Read.
Rest in the Lord and wait patiently.
That's what we got to do. We got to be patient. Wait, what? Patiently. Read.
Fret not thyself because of him who prospereth in his way.
Yeah, that's because someone's prospering. He got a nice car, nice home. Satan might have gave him that, man. Satan might have gave him that. Don't fret. Fret not, man. Because a wicked person is prosperous in his way. Read.
Because of the man who bringeth wicked devices to pass. Cease from anger and forsake wrath. Fret not thyself in any wise to do evil.
Yeah, don't think to do evil, man. Don't think to do evil. Don't fret in that, man. Read.
For evildoers shall be cut off.
So let's say if they created this, right? They're going to be cut off. Let's say if they plotted on us, they're going to be cut off. Read.
But those that wait upon the Lord shall inherit the earth.
This is why we got to be patient. We got to be patient. We got to have faith to inherit this earth. Read.
For yet a little while, and the wicked shall not be.
Oh, it's coming, man. We're getting close to the end. The Lord say a little while, and the wicked shall not be. These are the signs that we're supposed to be looking for. Read.
But the meek shall inherit the earth.
Humble yourself. Humble yourself.
And shall delight themselves in the abundance of peace.
Come on. Read.
The wicked plotteth against the just, and gnasheth upon him with his teeth. The Lord shall laugh at him.
So the Lord's going to be laughing at them. The Lord's going to be laughing at the wicked in the end. Because they're going to pay for how they treated these people. So the Lord shall laugh at them. The Lord's going to be cracking up at the wicked when they're punished. Read.
For he seeth that his day is coming.
His day is coming. The Lord said, you wicked people, your day is coming. Your day is coming when you have to pay for all of this wickedness that you've done in the earth. And the Lord's going to be cracking up, laughing at you. Read.
The wicked have drawn out the sword and have bent their bow to cast down the poor and needy, and to slay such as be of upright conversation.
They don't want us telling the truth. They come by. They got trolls that come by, give a thumbs down before we speak. They slay the poor. Poor people are dying. You got people dying in nursing homes. They can't even explain it. They're slaying the poor and the needy. The people in the nursing home needs that. They're being abused in the nursing homes. But the Lord see this. And the Lord, they're going to have to pay for this. Read on.
And slay such that be of upright conversation. Their sword shall enter into their own heart.
Their sword's going to enter into their own heart. Everything that they try to do against the true men and women of the Lord, their swords is going to go right in their own hearts. It's going to go right in their own hearts. And their bows shall be broken.
Oh, God, Slakia. Verse 16. A little that a righteous man hath is better than the riches of many wicked.
So you may not have much right now, Eleazar. You may not have much right now, Roscoe. Fret not. A little of which you have, right? You may not be living in a house like LeBron James, right? You might not be living in a mansion, right? But it's better to have the little that you have than the riches of a wicked. Because a wicked is going to be condemned in the end. Read.
For the arms of the wicked shall be broken, but the Lord upholdeth the righteous.
Come on, read.
The Lord knoweth the days of the upright, and their inheritance shall be forever.
So our inheritance shall be forever. There it is right there. All you have to do is stand fast and remain righteous, and your inheritance is going to be forever. That's talking about salvation. That's talking about living in the kingdom. If you want to live forever, that's your inheritance. So we got to learn to be patient. Be patient and fret not. And so I just put the link in the room. Anyone actually want to come in the room? You got something you want to say? You want to speak? You know, just show some decorum. The link is in the room. You just click on the link. It'll bring you to the back door, and we'll allow you to speak. But we got to fret not, family. Don't fall out of this. Maintain patience. Anyone have anything? Roscoe, you got something you want to bring out? Click on the link. Come in the room. Moshe, you got something you want to bring out? Click on the link. Come in the room. John Doe. Oh yeah, John Doe. You got a testimony. I thought you want to if that's the right same John Doe. You said you had some success. If you want to speak on that, you could come in the room. Just simply by clicking on the link under the name Tazadaq, True Disciples of Christ. T-Dot. Click on that link. It'll bring you into the back room. And again, as you come in the room, if you're just coming into the room, give a thumbs up. Any of you, if the Spirit is moving on you to join the True Disciples of Christ, you could email Tazadaq shah@yahoo.com. If the Lord's calling you out of this world, and you don't want to live like you've been living, you know something's wrong in this world, and you're being moved to want to come into this assembly, what are you waiting for? Question is, what are you waiting for? So again, anyone that wants to speak, you can speak up now. Simply click on the link and come in the room.
Hey, Tazadaq. So last was it last? I think it was last Shabbat. It's a little bit off, and whatnot. But most are still moving, man. So folks are asking me about preparing these teas that they see us drinking,
Right,
and selling it. So that I guess things are working. Things are moving the way that we see it when we start getting things going.
Con. And John Doe, you gotta log in from Chrome. You gotta be on a Chrome browser or a Safari. in order to come in the room. That's why it's probably not loading. If you're doing it for a Firefox or something like that, people typically have problems. So anyone got anything? Roscoe, Daniel, who else? Moshe, anyone? Eliezer? Eliezer still alive? Wow. United, Yasha Allah. Anyone got anything? You know, Sean. It's open right now. You got something you want to speak on? You could do so now. Edward. Any of the brothers and sisters in the room, you got something you feel like you want to say? Go ahead. Hey, shalom. Turn down. What's going on, brother?
Hey.
What's going on with you, King? Can you hear us?
Yeah, I can hear you.
All
Can
right.
you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you. We got your volume a little bit. I think you got to turn that down a little more, like your YouTube.
Yeah. No, the name I was given is Nelson, but.
Oh yeah. I didn't know if you wanted to.
Yeah, I just had a great testimony. Is there too much interference?
No, it's good.
Is there too much interference?
Okay,
you guys, I had a testimony because. Turn what? The YouTube down? Oh yeah, the feedback.
Yeah. The YouTube. Yeah, if you mute that, then you won't get the feedback.
Yeah, I just had it. Is that better?
Yeah, StreamYard is ahead of YouTube, so
okay.
Why you on it?
All right, so yeah, with all this crazy stuff going on, I've been following. I've been reading the Bible my whole life, and I knew there was always like, this is, of course. How could you not know what's going to be going on if you didn't read it? If you did read it,
right?
So anyway, when I was started to look at Tazadaq's videos, I had already had that like energy and endurance to know this, pretty wicked system they had. So when I started applying his methods, I got my kids back because the courts fraudulently took them from me.
Right.
They even sent me to a mental hospital for 4.5 months,
which is not uncommon.
Because they were so sure that, this guy doesn't know what he's talking about. Oh, there's no way. But then you look at the triangle: God, man, government. Where are you at? You're under that covenant. Like with Daniel, it's not going to go look at the image. I'm saying, wait a minute, you people violated this law up here, the top. So how could you even tell me what to do when you're down the bottom under me? So I stood on that, and that's how I had the remedy with everything. Just looking at his examples, Tazadaq examples, and then reading the Bible, all that stuff came to life, and that's how I got all my remedy, is with keeping the faith, being in Christ, because you have to be.
Didn't they have a warrant for the debtor corpus? And then they have a warrant.
Oh yeah. This this is what happened. When I got the packet, the secured creditor packet.
You froze up, brother. I don't want to speak. See that? See how that works?
That's crazy.
Look at what's up with this warrant. I go in there. I'm not afraid. I go in there and I say, what's going on with this warrant? That's my exact word. I say, what's authority? And they knew they made a mistake and they tried to quiet me. But they were so frustrated about how they made such a mistake that they kidnapped me. And at the time, my blood sugars were really bad because I had the diabetes. I still have it, but it's almost gone now with the herbs. But they kept me overnight. And I didn't see the magistrate until the morning. And I was in agony. I was actually really in agony. It was like acid in my blood. They couldn't even pull up my prescription because I was in there as somebody else. They didn't care.
Right.
They didn't care. Even before I went before
hold on. Let's get this clear
the
to
bar,
the audience.
I brought in all the proof.
Yeah, hold on. Let's get this clear to
Say
the
again?
audience. So they mistakenly arrested you on someone else that they thought you was, like literally.
Just because my name was on, they can't confirm an account with the man. They were like,
Right.
oh, it's just an account, whoever in there. And
Right.
but I came prepared though, because I was doing all the stuff that you example. I was doing all that stuff. They weren't expecting that, so they apologized the next day. But I wouldn't have been able to do this if I wasn't like, on
Right.
top of things.
Go on.
I would no, because I know the whole scheme of the things.
Right.
They're under it's God, man, government. So how could they even have any? How could they have any authority over me to do anything? They tried to. They failed miserably, but I came back, and they actually still owe me a lot because I almost died in there. I almost died in there because
why didn't you bring
overnight.
why didn't you bring a suit for that, brother? Why didn't you bring?
I did. Well, actually, not really. I came in there respectable. I dressed nice. I even
I mean a
all my
lawsuit. I mean a lawsuit. I mean a lawsuit.
A lawsuit?
Arrest.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you meant like, why didn't I dress? No, yeah.
No.
I'm working on it. I'm still working on it because
all right.
At the time I was so busy. I was trying to like get the attorneys, but they all work for them. So they won't. None of them would. There was like 4 of them that they declined to do it. I'm like, why? Everyone else in the jail will say, hey man, you got a huge lawsuit right here. They kidnap you just for that alone. Just for them under the color of law. What is it? 241, 242 USC code. Just for that alone. Like that's like. So none of them would, and so I have to do it myself. None of them would. I call all of them. They said, "Oh, we're sorry, we can't." I'm like, "Why? What's the problem?" They're not going to sink their own pirate ship.
Right. I mean, yeah,
they're not going to do that.
They know the black robe. You know what I mean? Most of them in that jurisdiction, they probably know the black robe personally. So they have this, secret code. They're essentially officers of the court. Yeah. So I mean, that's probably why they wouldn't do it. They probably play golf with that same black robe that whoever put you in there that you was gonna bring a suit against. That was probably their golf buddy. That's usually how it works. They probably would have been discussing doing the golf.
What it really was? It was a test. It really was a test. Because if you look at Daniel, he didn't go bow to the image. He said, no, I'm gonna still do my thing. So that's how I got through that. That's the only way I got through that. Is to really keep that. You keep the Most High in my consciousness and say, hey, well, no, wait a minute. I'm not breaking up with this for this. You people are disgusting.
Right.
So that's how I got through that. And then, but they didn't let off the first time. I went back the second time after I went to the magistrate and they apologized and let me go. I went back the second time to that. Actually, I went there 3 times. The second time I went back, they tried to recall it. And I said, is this cleared yet? Did you guys do your job here? Because I'm going to be, you guys are like, they knew what was going on because I went to another magistrate's office and I was like, did you get my notice about what happened, sir? Is this going to be these cleared up? And he's like, oh, I didn't get anything. I sent 3 of them. Yeah, and then the third time I walked in there, the guy on the radio, the bailiff.
Right. It froze up again. Froze up again. Anyone else? Anyone else got anything before we shut it down? You froze up again, brother.
I froze up?
Yeah, you froze up again. We couldn't hear what you were saying there at the end. Something about the bailiff.
Sorry. But yeah, I went back to the third time. And they said, hey, is there they said over the radio when I through the security, they said, hey, oh, that guy's here again. Because they were acting like they didn't know what happened. So it was really I was so confident, being confident. I was not afraid of nothing. You can't be afraid. Why? What you have to be afraid of? Honestly, What do you have to be afraid of? When you have Christ in you, what do you have to be afraid of?
Yep.
With this coronavirus stuff, it's just like now they're really shutting it down. They don't want, they're going to start moderating YouTube, and we got to be careful.
Yeah, they already do.
Like in the Matrix movie where it says, like in the Matrix movie where it says you got to be careful who you talk to, because they will sell you over for this paycheck.
Yeah.
They'll sell you over for this. That's how I have to be.
Yeah, they already
careful.
do it.
Like
They flag my
I didn't enlighten people. Yeah.
Yeah, they flag my main channel. That's why I'm on this channel. Yeah. So yeah, you really do. And there's a warning even before you live stream now about they might be deleting content that may not even violate YouTube's rules. So I mean, that's just a nice way of saying we're gonna censor you.
Yeah. They're getting desperate because you're speaking the truth and they don't want any of it out.
Right.
Nothing. Even if you mix it in with a video talk, say you just talked about like the UCC codes, and they'll say, "Oh, wait a minute, you said something in here. Let's delete everything."
Right. Yep. That's what they're doing. It's actually what they're doing. It's exactly what's going on. So anyone else got anything? If not, I appreciate that, brother. If not, we're gonna go ahead and shut it down. I appreciate that. Nelson.
Okay, I appreciate you too, brother.
Yeah.
Okay.
Anyone else? All right. All right, shalom. Anyone else in the room got anything you want to click on the link? Come in. Do so now. If not, we can go ahead and shut it down, man. No one? Yashabun, Yeshaya, any of you got anything before we close?
I was gonna say,
I see there's a lot of, there's like 13 thumbs down, man. A lot of hate out there.
Already?
Yeah, it was already 8 before we started.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it was 8 before we started. That's what I was saying in the beginning, man.
Yeah.
A lot of hate out there.
I was in a restroom and my sons were saying, "Oh, your call is on." I'm like, "I'll be there real quick." So that's what was going on when they came to grab me. That is ridiculous.
Yeah.
8 before you started, now 13, and we ain't doing nothing but reading, regurgitating what's written inside the Bible.
Hey man, that's where they're at, man. The only thing I can say is may the Most High bless them and get them out of that dark place wherever they're in. Because I mean, to give a thumbs down before you say something is a reflection of what's going on inside of you. And so that's, it's a cold, dark person inside to, do something like that. Even before they hear cause, they judge it. You understand what I'm saying? That's dark. Yeah. That's as dark as you could get.
Yeah, that's gross darkness right there. That's exactly what it is. Don't even want to hear it. Make a judgment.
Yeah, that's bad, man. It's bad. But, some people want to get to work, I guess. They think that's what's, best for them. But I mean, what if people go to work? And it's kind of interesting because I'm going to be interested to see how this plays out. People go to work. If there's an influx of people that start getting sick and dying, what's going to happen? They're going to close it down again. They're going to say, we can't do this after more people die. We'll see. We'll see. You got to take cautions, man. Just protect yourself. That's the only thing we're saying. Whatever you believe in, whatever theory you're coming up with, I hope at least you're taking caution and protecting yourselves and your family. I wouldn't take this for granted. I mean, even if you're one of those people out there that believe this is a hoax, how can it harm you by, exercising some caution and protecting yourself? Because if it's not, you're putting yourself and your family at risk and other people. That's all I'm saying. Might want to reflect on that. If you're one of those people, one of the non-believers. Yeah, that's what they are, Tariq. Scoffers. Exactly what they are, scoffers. Yeah, man. So it looks like no one else got anything. I don't even know, man. If I should, even leave this up, man. But there's a lot of weird things going on YouTube nowadays, man. You talk about certain things, they're literally deleting folks' channels. But hey, man, it's a new world that you're living in, man.
Yep, that's wild. 13. Yeah, pray for those folks. because
and they can't be listening. They're not on the core. Not even most T-Dot members are on the core, because there would have automatically been about 40 thumbs up. You understand what I'm saying?
yeah,
Makes me look really funny at those people also, man. It shows you who is who in this world, man. But to the people that really believe, fright not, man. Fright not. Stand strong. Be patient. You put faith in the Most High, in Christ, you'll be all right, man. Just have works with your faith. So with that, I'm going to go ahead and we could go ahead and shut it down. We thank everyone for listening in. May the Most High bless and keep you. Shalom.
shalom.